Hello, Flosstube. Long time no see. It's been a few months. And honestly, I have not had that much time to stitch, and I have had zero time to record. But I have a kid, like, directly behind me. And if you see her, it's just because she will not leave my side today. And this is like the only window I have until probably January to film. So, here we go. I have, like I said, been really busy with cookies. School has started. I've done a few big cookie events. I've done just a lot of things. And like right now I should be working on cookies, but that can wait. I can do this real quick and it'll be fine. So I do have a lot of new starts, and I have one. I think it's a start and finish. I honestly didn't go back and watch where I was at when I last recorded to see. So I'm just kind of winging it, but I have done a lot of stitching compared to then, but my stitching has definitely slowed down as cookies picked up, as I knew it would. But right now, like, I just want to do stitching and Christmas decorations. I don't want to work, which is kind of a problem. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to decorate this weekend, and then it is going to be gung-ho cookie business stuff. So I'm going to start out by showing you my two FFOs. This one, I believe, is a start and a finish. Sorry, the sun is kind of crazy right now. It's a cute little prairie schooler Santa, and I just did a little pillow finish. I put some, it's called mulling spices in here, so kind of like potpourri-ish. I thought it would be fun if it smelled good. It's just a tiny little, on 18 count, tea-dyed Ada. I don't think I used called for. I don't think I had called for. I just used what I had. And this was part of the big stash that I was given. If you remember, I think it was my first Flosstube. I showed some of that. So this is the Prairie Schooler Book 20, St. Nicholas. And I did this one right here. And then the next one I'm going to do is, shoot, which one was it? I think it's this one, maybe? I don't know, but I don't really like all the color variations. I think I want to do them all red. So that's my plan. And I'm just going to keep these colors together so that I can use them and do them all. And then maybe do the yearly ones too. I don't know. I don't have any of those yet, but I would love to. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I might just put some jute on here and turn it into an ornament for this year. Right now, he's just chilling in the living room with my fall and Christmas decorations that are mixed together right now. Okay, my other FFO is my first Stitching with the Housewives ornament. I am obsessed. Obviously, as a cookie baker, I had to stitch this, and I stitched it in, I believe, February. So you probably have already seen this when I showed all of my finishes before in one of my earlier episodes. But really, it's been so long that I don't even remember what I've done. So I still have some like strings and stuff. Corduroy from the thrift store. Foam core that I did buy at Hobby Lobby for stitching. This is on foam core. This is on foam core. And then you can kind of tell that it's like the pleated side. I didn't really want to sandwich it together because I kind of liked how the gathered look looked. Don't know what I just said. And then the trim I had, it was from Joann's, like probably 5 years ago. Ribbon, also from Joann's, same age. And this little tiny gingerbread man cookie cutter was from Hobby Lobby. I got it a couple years ago, but I think they still have them. I hot glued it all onto boards, hot glued it together. I'm obsessed, and now I literally don't want to make any cookies. I just want to make more ornaments. It's my favorite. I love it so much. So in January, I will definitely be going on a Stitching with the Housewives ornament binge to make more cookie-related ornaments for my cookie tree, which I don't know if I'm going to have a cookie tree this year because I have a 1-year-old, and 1-year-olds are kind of disasters to have in your house. Like, you can't really tell them no because they don't really understand. I mean, you say no, and they sometimes will say no back to you, but they don't know what that means quite yet. So, it's like a tornado. It's always in our house at all times. It's fine. And so next I have a bunch of whips, and I think I'm just gonna go oldest to newest. And I'm realizing now that I have one in my car. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab that. Okay, sorry, I'm back. And I will say, nothing is ironed. Everything probably has a thread and a needle just stuck in it wherever I'm at, but you know what? I don't have time to care right now. So I'm gonna start off with my Christmas stocking, and hang on again. Okay, I know I've shown this before. My stocking is out of this book. It's the one my mom started making me probably 20 years ago. I don't know for sure when it was. I just know it was a long time ago. And I have to find it because I am so not prepared. Here it is. This is what it will look like. So it is A Child is Born, and it is from Cooler Design Studio in this book from, I don't know, probably the 90s. And this is on the Cooler Design website. I've linked it before. I can find the link again. And then they also have these little ornaments that they can make out of this pattern. It's so cute. I'm obsessed with nativities. I don't know if I've talked about that on here, but I probably have at least 25. And that is probably an underestimation. Ever since I was little, I just loved them. So here's where we're at. I can't remember if I've stitched this since I last recorded or not. I have not worked on it in quite a while because I have other things that I need to get done. I would have loved to have this by Christmas, but that was never a realistic goal anyways. I might have worked on the lamb some and the straw around baby Jesus. That crown for one of the wise men. And I still need to do like the angels on top, the name, and then the wise men and the camel down at the bottom. I think that's about it. But it is a lot of stitches. And it's 3 threads, all called for DMC. My mom had it all already organized. She had it all. She just hadn't finished. She hadn't worked on it in years. And she, if you're wondering, there is a stain in the fabric, and that, I don't know, is probably either Diet Pepsi or tea, because that's all my mom drank. And I tried my best to get it out, and I washed it some, but it didn't come out, and I'm okay with that, because this part will be cut off, and it will just be really, like, behind the barn that you see it, and it's kind of a nice little rustic vibe. Yeah, so I have all this, and I need to work on it, but I have other things that I need to get done first, because this just hasn't been my highest priority. However, we are like one stocking short of a whole family now, because we haven't bought stockings since 4 years ago. I don't know. It's fine. I have my husband's that his grandma made him. I'll probably just use that. And that'll be what it'll be. Okay, so there's that. And then the next one, I believe, that I had started was this I Know from Plum Street. And I saw this pattern and fell in love. Jesus Loves Me is the goodnight song we sing to our kids every single night. And it's just a classic. Okay, yep, there is some string hanging on here. This has become my car stitch because right now where I'm at is fill-in. I still need to finish the tree up here. I need to do a sun up here. And I'm filling in the grass. And the grass is taking 500 years. The whole thing is really taking 500 years. But that's okay. It's beautiful. It's worth it. The church is beautiful. It's all called for colors, including a little bit of fancy floss. This is my first fancy floss project. And then I had to tea coffee dye some of the floss too. I love it so much. It is on, I believe it's like 28 count. I believe it's Annabelle. It's from that stash that I was given. It didn't have everything labeled, but it's so pretty. There's also a few more of these little like quilt blocky things that are scattered around that need done, but that's where I am and I love it. And I cannot wait for it to be done. However, I have not been working on it much lately. I'll just be honest. Because the fill-in is taking 500 years. And I did have to buy more fancy floss because this is not the called for fabric. So it's bigger. And I'm doing 2 strands instead of 1. So I'll get it eventually. Hopefully by springtime. I'll get it, maybe. That's my goal. Okay. There's that. Now here is the next one, which I have not worked on at all in a couple of months because it's just not the season. It is Gathering Honey. This is also from Cooler Designs. It is in this May-June of '87 issue of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. I love these magazines. I think of all the old ones I've looked through, these are my favorite. But I love it. It's so beautiful. So I'm stitching this on what I believe is 28 count linen from Charles Craft is what most of it is. And I got the whole middle done. All the back stitching. I don't have the bumblebees around the hive yet, but I started the border and I really debated if I even wanted to do the border, but I decided I love the honeycomb on here. So because I love that, I'm going to do the border, all of it. But it's a lot of stitching. It's a lot of color changes. It's a lot of detail. It's beautiful though. So I'm using mostly called for DMC. There is some that is not, that I just used instead. There's so many colors. I did my first good, decent, I wouldn't call them good, French knots. There's French knots on here. There's more somewhere. I don't know. It's beautiful. I love it. That's my needle down there. That's why it looks weird over there, but lots of back stitching, lots of color. I really thought about just buying some fancy floss, but I did not. I just went with how it was supposed to be done. And I did it how it was called for. And I love it, but it's going to take me forever. And these are all of the colors. So many. So many. But this design, like I said, is from Cooler Design. So it is available on their website as a digital download if you can't get your hands on this magazine. It's beautiful. I love it. And I cannot wait for it to be done and framed and in my house. But until then, it's going to live in the bag a little bit longer. Okay, what is next? I feel like I'm missing things, but I don't know what. So the next one I did then was this one. That was a quick start and finish. And really, I did that because I thought I was going to record a Flosstube. And I was like, I don't have anything to show. I'm going to start a quick stitch. I started it, finished it. 2 months later, I'm finally recording. So here is my project bag for that. It's just a little pencil pouch with a blank piece of tea-dyed 18 count, I believe. Ready to start the next one. Eventually. We will get there eventually. Okay. My next project. And this one is a gift for somebody. I bought it thinking I can do this in a couple weeks for their birthday. Sorry, I just flashed part of the pattern. It's hands-on design. Let's talk quilting. It's so cute. I love it. I'm not a quilter, but maybe someday. I keep joking that someday. Maybe someday. Here's where I am. I am about 1/3 of the way done. Also, all my loose threads are just chilling in the bottom of that. Sorry about it. Yeah. So I'm like to here. That looks like more than 1/3. It looks like we're getting close to half. Almost. Not quite, but it's really cute. I'm using all the called for colors. I did just realize that I do not have the called for color for the ampersand. So I don't know yet what I want to do. If I just want to stitch with what I have or get it, but that's where I'm at. I'm kind of just working from the bottom up, which I should have gone more strategic because then I'm holding this in my hand. I don't know. Oh well. Can't do anything about it now. I've already started. I'm not gonna change how I'm doing it. But started down here and then I'm working up and over and then back and forth and just kind of doing it as I go. But I love it. It's really pretty. Stitching on black is not my favorite. And this Ada is from Amazon. It's 14 count. And I just feel like it's too crunchy and it tears up my threads really bad. So I forgot to show you this. I bought some beeswax to make some salve with the calendula from my garden. And I also have these little piggy molds. So I made a little piggy floss gloss. And then I have another one that I just put it in a tin, melted it. And that I've been using. I have found that fancy floss is kind of fuzzy sometimes. I don't know. I feel like it tangles really easily. Easier than just regular DMC. And then when I'm using the black Ada, my floss gets really fuzzy and tangly and just yucky. So I've been using beeswax on my floss and that has definitely helped. So if you are finding that same issue, I don't have it. I don't have a problem at all using regular DMC on any other fabric, but on the black Ada from Amazon or using fancy floss, I have issues with my floss. So beeswax has helped. Okay, my next one, I don't have a picture to show you because the only picture I have is the chart. And I have a thread hanging on here somewhere. Here. This is a Charlie Kirk memorial stitch. I don't know what it's called. And it's from the Scarlet House. So it says, "We are stronger than the storm." And then I thought this was so cute because it has little blueberries in the border down here. And if you followed his story, his wife told their daughter that daddy's on a work trip with Jesus so he can afford your blueberry budget which is like a thing he would tell her when he would leave for work trips. He would say, well, I got to go to work. I got to afford your blueberry budget. So it's just a really cute little nod to his family, I felt like. And I loved it. I love the design. I'm just using random floss I already had. Again, with my pencil pouches. There's my colors. Just whatever I had. I just pulled it and I used it. And I love it. And I kind of think I'm going to leave off the "we are" and just leave it like this. Because I like it like that. And the "we are" is like off-centered. I don't know. I really like how this looks. So, there's this. This is I have not stitched it in a long time. Really. I keep it in my room, but lately I've been going to bed too tired to stitch. So, I have not been working on that. That's also what my little Prairie Schooler Santa project is. It's my stitch in bed stitch, and I have not been stitching in bed. So then, I gotta keep checking the time because I gotta go get my daughter from school in a little bit. Last weekend, my aunts and my grandma came over to my house after we went to Floss and Needle, which is our local L&S in McPherson, Kansas. So we went to Floss and Needle, and I got a pattern. We have always done like baking days, and we used to do a baking day, and then my grandma would have a Christmas open house. So we'd have all these candies and cookies. Well, now we still do the baking day, but we don't have the party. And then we end up with so many extra candies and cookies, and it's just gotten out of hand. And now there's, 8 grown women trying to bake together in a little tiny kitchen. And it just doesn't work very well. So this year we decided we would try something different, and we did a crafty day. So we started out the morning. We all met in McPherson, and then we drove to my house, which is, like 30 minutes away, but on the way home for most of us. And then my aunt had ordered 4-inch embroidery hoops. We got some embroidery fabric. We printed some designs. We all embroidered an ornament, which will hang on Grandma's tree this year. And then I would say most of us, if not all of us, bought a cross-stitch project to start. So this is the one I picked. I wanted something little because I have 3 big unfinished projects. Well, 4 big unfinished projects. And I wanted something little that I knew I could get done by Christmas. So I found this is a set of 12. I have one of them. And I think I'm going to do them all like individually. Probably a pillow finish because those are cute and easy. And then I don't know if I'm going to do more of them or if I'm just going to do the one. But this is the one I picked. It is Gingerbread House number 8 from Country Cottage Needleworks. I thought that was so cute. And it comes with a little snowflake button. And yet again, as thread is hanging, I started it on this 14 count Aida that I dyed. I believe it was ivory Aida before I dyed it. And I dyed it aqua from Rit Dye. And that's how far I am. And I have made so many mistakes. Last night I had to frog. And then after I frogged, I realized I had made another mistake. And I wasn't going to fix it. So I've messed up a lot on here, but I don't know. Sorry. I think I can fudge it. I have like an extra line in here, and I'm just going to make it be just an extra line of the gingerbread house. So it'll be 2 rows thicker, 2 columns thicker. And then I'll have to adjust the snow on this side probably a little bit, but that'll be okay, right? I'm using called for, except they were out of the green. So I thought, I have something I can find at home. And I found a lime green. and it is not labeled. So I think it's one that I got from the thrift store that was not labeled, and I coffee dyed it. So there's slight variation in it, but you can't really tell. But it matches the picture pretty well. So that is my newest project. And that brings me to the end of the whip pile. For a monogamous stitcher, I am apparently cheating pretty heavily on my stitches. I'll also show you my other purchase from Floss and Needle, and it is this amazing needle minder. I spent too much money on it, and I don't even care. The cookie lady needed a cookie needle minder, okay? If I had known, like, actually asked what the price was, I probably wouldn't have, but I didn't ask what the price was. And I just pretended it would be fine. And I don't have regrets. When I realized what I actually paid for it, my family thought I was nuts. But I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, and so I have not been on here in a long time. And I have stitched a little bit, but I have acquired a whole bunch. First, though, I'll show you. This is not mine. This is what my sister bought. She has not cross-stitched since the fateful day in, like, the late 2000s. Like, 2009, 2010. Probably not 10, like 7, 8, 9. When my family tried to teach us how to cross-stitch, and she figured it out and I did not. So I helped her pick out a pattern that would be pretty easy. So this is a lot of fill-in, so that's less counting. She had found one that was like a bunch of like little like motifs. It's like, that's gonna be a lot more counting. These will be a lot more simple. And then I looked at the pattern, and these are like 30 by 30. So they'll be itty bitty little tags. I think they are so adorable. So I have her stuff here. She got all the called for, and then I found her another piece of dyed Ada that I had dyed, because I was like, don't buy fabric. I have fabric. I'll just hook you up. So we are gonna get together, and I'm gonna help her figure out what she's doing, because she hasn't done it in a really long time. Okay. So that is my sister's project. And then I will show you my stash accumulation. I got this another time that I went to Floss and Needle to pick up floss. It is Tomato Hill, and I was going to start this in like July or August, like prime tomato season, and it didn't happen. But it will be a spring priority for sure. And I haven't even bought the floss yet, because I haven't had time to even think about it yet. It's fine. But I have been going to the thrift store a lot, because what else do you do when you have 2 kids and you need to kill time before one of them takes a nap? Okay, I have 3 kids, but I have 2 kids during the school day. That's what I meant. So I have been hitting the cross-stitch jackpot, especially in terms of Christmas goodies, especially in terms of Lizzie Kate goodies. When did you come in here? God, sneaky kid back there. So I found a whole bunch of these. These are little snippets. And they are so cute. I would love to stitch all of these someday. I could totally make time for that, right? This one is a heart and hand. And you like put your last name there. But most of these are Lizzie Kate. Somebody had an impressive Lizzie Kate collection. And then I realized I actually got 2 of these. So I might have to do a giveaway. This one is cute for like my first Christmas or like a wedding. I don't know when I'm going to stitch these, but I have them. This one's from Bent Creek, and I thought the little snowmen were adorable. I found this one just the other day, Not Forgotten Farm, Jingle All the Way. So pretty. Okay, and then more Lizzie Kates. These are all bigger ones, not the little snippets anymore. And these were anywhere from 10 to 50 cents each. So, not that much. Basically free, right? That's like how cross-stitch math works. I love that Mooey Christmas. They're so cute. And this one came with some floss. Still not done yet. I love this. These are really cute. The ho 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 is adorable. Hey, you're kind of loud, honey. And this one for a bird lover. I think that'd be really pretty. Like, I have people in mind that I could make some of these for. I just need, you know, like an extra day every week just to stitch. And then this is Trail Creek Farm, which was from Lyons, Kansas. So stinking cute. And then, like, I found other little magazines and stuff. So I found this one. It has a bunch. I love the little cookies. That caught my eye. Oh, nothing on the back. But there are other projects in there too. However, it's the charts. That one. I loved that one. So I got that. I found this in one of my magazines. A little St. Lucia bear. Love it. I need to stitch it. This is another one I found. The gingerbread house is glorious. And I kind of think I would just stitch it like maybe on another teal piece and leave the background blank. Not stitch the background. It's so cute though. And then I also made a friend on Instagram, and she was clearing out some of her stash, and she offered to send me some. And I was like, absolutely, I would take some. So let me grab that. I'm literally so unprepared for this today. Okay. I think this one was from the Etc. shop, from the thrift store. But I thought that was really cute. It's another little Lizzie Kate snippet. It came with fabric. So I also got that. But this is from my Instagram friend. I'm not gonna shout out her name because I didn't tell her I was gonna share these. The spring string. Oh, if I open it up, you can see the whole thing. So cute. This is a winter wind sampler that she had saved from a magazine. I believe this is by Plum Street. Yeah. That'll be a great January stitch. This flag. I want to make this into a pillow. I think it'd be so cute. Flowers. And I think that's everything. If there's more, it's here somewhere. Like, I've been keeping my cross-stitch stuff in my cookie room, which was great until cookie season picked up, and then cross-stitch is no longer organized. I just cannot, like, absolutely cannot have my life all together all at the same time. It's just not who I am. And then I have a big piece of fabric that I dyed. I was planning on doing a football season stitch where every time when I watched a K-State game, I was going to work on it. I have not had time to work on things during the K-State game. Or if I do, I'm working on the one that's a gift that needs to get done. So this is for, my plan is to do Football Is My Favorite Season from Stitching with the Housewives on purple. I think that'd be so cute. And then I might come up with other things to do on purple. Because the cats. But that's kind of where I'm at. Drowning in everything. Up to my eyeballs in cookie plans and cross-stitch plans. But it's been a good few months. It's been productive. As you can see, like, my ingredient shelf back here is stocked. Over here you can't see it, but I just made the biggest purchase, I think, of my life, other than like vehicles or, you know, like the biggest cookie business investment I've ever made. And that is an Eddie, the edible ink printer. And he is super cool. I have a cookie here. Oh, this was also one of the ones that I got from my Instagram friend, and it got hidden. So pretty. Oh, Lizzie Kate. Back to Eddie. He is a cookie printer. So you flood, you put your icing on the cookie, you let it dry, you put it on a tray, and this printer will print ink that's edible directly onto the cookies. So this was an order I had this week, and you can see like it's completely flat. I did not have to pipe those checkered flags. I did pipe happy birthday, but he just inked directly on. And I also had to make some really, really ugly cookies for a really icky college team. That's all I'm going to say. If you know, you know. Clearly, I have opinions. I was happy to do it. It was for a good reason that I did it. But I did not want to pipe that hideous logo a dozen times. And I was so glad that I didn't have to. I could take the order. I didn't have to say no. Also because I didn't have time to like fit in the order and pipe it. But I was able to take a quick rush order and get the cookies done in like a day, where before it would have taken multiple days to do those cookies. So it's a really exciting thing I have. I need to figure out more ways to use it, but right now is just a busy time of the year where I am trying to survive and get everything done that needs to get done and come up with ideas that I think would be fun, and plan a birthday party because I have a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old celebrating their birthday in a couple weeks. So I have a lot going on, but it's all been really good. It's all really good stuff that I have going on. I just wish I had more stitching time, but it is what it is. I cannot believe that we're already under 2 weeks till Thanksgiving. Like, barely a month from Christmas. Ugh, it's crazy. But I will not be on here. I can confidently say I will not be on here until January. And I am pretty sure I'll be on here during January, but you never know. Life with 3 kids is a lot more chaotic than life with 2. Just, there's more bodies that you have to, like, entertain, and more nap times that you have to balance, and just overall a lot less free time. But all good reasons, all good things. I still love stitching. I still love everything. I just have not had the time, and I have missed you. And this episode of Flosstube has probably been kind of chaotic. I think it's episode 4, but I hear a kid in the background again. But anyways, it is about time to go get my daughter from school. So I'm going to have to say, see you later. I hope that was a good update. And oh, if you would like this, it says, friends make the holidays merry. Okay. I have a kid in the background. If you would like this, since I have an extra one, it says, friends make the holidays merry. Comment below and say stitchy friends, and I will pick a winner. I'm going to say I'll pick a winner December 1st. Seems like a safe bet. And I will probably not be making a video like I said. So I will reply to your comment and tell you that you've won, and then I will be in contact with you that way to send you this cute little pattern. This kid. But we need to go get your sister from school. So I'm going to sign off, and I will see you later. And I will try to post on Instagram before my next Flosstube, so you can keep updated. Talk to you later.